talk about how this year may be different due to COVID procedures that are put in place. At 50% capacity, we have over 850 students in this school. It's going to be hard to social distance in some areas. We have taped off our corridors, and we have traffic flow to adhere to the policies and procedures that have been put in place. We have cleaning procedures in place. Our cleaning procedures are a lot like the flu. We will wipe down hard surfaces each day. We will ask students to wash their hands multiple times a day. They'll take turns to wash hands, not all be at the sink at the same time. They'll wash hands upon arrival, before they eat, after they eat, and any time that they need to wash their hands. Your child will also have multiple times a day where they will get to have recess or walk. We know that with COVID procedures, our students will spend a lot of time sitting at desks. This doesn't look like what we typically do in the school day. Typically, we're grouped together, we're doing movement learning, we're doing cooperative learning. With our class sizes, it's gonna be really hard to do some of these things and adhere to social distance. So what we're going to do is incorporate our day with multiple times where we have learning breaks, where we may go on a walk outside, or we may have a go noodle activity, or we may have recess. But please know that your child's day is going to look a little bit different. They're not going to be moving through the building like they typically would. It is imperative that you come on our staggered day. So we're going to open school on Monday, and we are so excited to have kids in the building. That's the whole reason that we're here. So Monday and Thursday will be just like the very first day of school. So it's very important that you come on your assigned day. Your assigned day should have been given to you by your teacher. If you have any questions about your assigned day, please call in. We'd be happy to answer those. But if it's your assigned day, we really need you to be here because we are going to be doing student counts. We want to make sure that we have our numbers correct. If you are a virtual student, we will also take attendance virtually that morning. If you have a letter but you would like to go virtual, you will need to come in and sign the virtual contract. You can call our office and schedule ahead of time, and we can take care of that contract for you. The contract is set in such a way that you're agreeing to be a virtual learner for an amount of time. If you would like to re-enter the school building at that point, you would need to set up a meeting with myself or one of the other administrators in the building, and the homeroom teacher and the virtual teacher. So we will set up a meeting, we will talk about the reason the child's re-entering the school, and we're gonna do what's best for kids always. So just know, if you are on a virtual contract and you wanna come off of that virtual contract, you're gonna need to contact the school. If you are not on a virtual contract and you want to go on one, you will need to contact the school. Lunch is gonna look a little different this year. Your child will be at an assigned seat and an assigned location from the time they enter this building until the time they exit this building. That includes on a bus. So just know that we have to be very stringent in these seating charts, and we are very sorry about that. It is not our typical. We enjoy letting students meet and greet with other students and get involved with other students, but we will have students numbered and we will have seating charts this year, and this will be in every location that your student will be in our building. That is one of the COVID procedures that we put in place. Arrival and dismissal, buses in Carline will be different. We will put in details in another video, so please look at that video as well if you have questions there. If you are a virtual learner for these next 2 weeks staggered, you will stay on your homeroom teacher's roster. After the 2 weeks of staggered, we should release information about where your child will be, if they will continue to be in the homeroom teacher's class that they have right now, or if we're going to create a virtual classroom due to numbers of students who have signed virtual contracts. So please stay tuned for that information. Your teacher should have already reviewed your schedule with you. that we will be trying to stay with a lot of what we did virtually so that we can access students who are virtual at home and students who are here in the building. We will make some schedule changes, so please bear with us and know that we are trying to do the best that we can for these students, and we're gonna experiment a little. So don't be surprised if we have to make a few changes so that we are doing what's best for our students so that they can have the best learning opportunities available. The next 2 weeks that we are staggered, your children will also go through lots of procedures and routines. This is what we do every year when our students walk into the building. We teach procedures and routines. What to do if this happens, how to enter the classroom, how to exit the classroom, how to raise your hand, how to interact with other students. That is what we're gonna be doing these first 2 weeks virtual, because we have all of these COVID procedures. We will spend a lot of time going over what your child's day looks like with your child. So please know that we are practicing these things with your child, and we want them to feel comfortable and know what's going on in this building. So know that we're gonna support them in that way. Some things that we are not gonna be allowed to have this year, for now, if COVID procedures change, you will be the first to know. As of right now, we are not using our lockers. Our students will keep their items with them. So when they enter the building with their backpacks, they will keep that backpack with them all day. Our upper grades, our teachers are rotating and not our students, so there won't be a need for them to carry their materials from class to class and switch lockers, or switch items in their lockers. So there's no need for lockers, and it helps with not congregating near the lockers. We will have students stay in the classroom and the teachers will rotate to them. So know that we will not be using our lockers this year. Remember that we do not have school on Wednesdays during the staggered schedule. This will be the next 2 weeks. That will be a day that we can sanitize and disinfect areas all throughout the building before our second round of students come. Something else that we're not gonna be able to have this year, we will not be able to have classroom parties, or if a parent brings in snacks for the class, we cannot bring any outside food to the classrooms this year. If a child forgets their lunch, we're not really gonna take that lunch and then take it to the classroom. The idea is if your child forgets their lunch, they're gonna need to get one of the free lunches in our cafeteria. We know that this can be frustrating, but just know we're not accepting any food that's being brought in. We're not accepting any visitors to the classroom, visitors to the lunchroom. We are not allowing parents to eat lunch with students this year, and I know that's very difficult, but please know that we're doing this to try to keep your child safe and adhere to our COVID procedures. So if you have any questions or concerns about that, I would be happy to speak to you further. But just know that's our procedures for this year. Our office will only hold 4 people at a time. So when you arrive to come into the building and you need to come into our office for some reason, you will have to buzz in, and then at that point, the front office ladies will ask you a series of questions that are COVID related, and they will take your temperature before you're allowed to enter the building. Once you've entered the building, you will get to work with the front office ladies. You will not be allowed to meet in person with your teacher or in person with an administrator or any other people in the building. All of our meetings will need to be virtual this year over the phone. And if this changes, I will definitely let you know. If your child is experiencing symptoms or is sick, please know that the nurse will call you and give you information from there. The nurses will also be making a separate video to go over all of this with you. So please look at that video as well. Masks are required this year, and we are expecting your child to arrive on Monday and Thursday with their mask, and they're expected to wear their mask all day. And we will have breaks though. So know that your child won't have to wear their mask all day long. We will have breaks for your child to be able to take that mask off and enjoy some fresh air. So we will be working with students on how to wear the mask properly and reminding them to wear their masks. Please know that if your child cannot wear a mask and it's for a medical reason, they will need to submit that document from a doctor to our nurses, and we will take care of that from there. But other than that, your child will be expected to wear a mask. If they come to school and they forget to wear a mask, we will provide them with one. If they have a mask and they're refusing to wear it, or we give them a mask and they refuse to wear it, at that point, one of the admin team will reach out to the parent and we will discuss a virtual contract for that student, and they will become a remote learner, because it is part of our dress code here that you wear a mask at this point. This was decided by the school board. I discussed earlier about teachers rotating. That includes related arts, except for the gymnasium. Our gymnasium is large enough so that we can socially distance. However, if you're during the day when your child has art or music or library, the teacher will be coming to that classroom so that we can keep our strict procedures in place, and it keeps children from rotating in the building and potentially coming into contact with other students. If your child is not at school on Monday and Tuesday because they are a remote learner, they will have a full day of learning and assignments just like they have been having since August 3rd. Things may look a little different, but they will be engaged virtually 5 days a week. Whether that's in person or virtually, they will be engaged 5 days a week in learning. Students will not be allowed to use water fountains this year. We ask that you send a water bottle. They will be able to use the water bottle refill stations, but we will not be allowing water fountains this year. All of our doors will have one entry door and one exit door. We will ensure that we're following that throughout the building. We will not be doing temperature checks for any students in the building unless they've been sent to the nurse because they have symptoms. This will not be something that we do upon entry. Students are expected to bring their Chromebooks to and from school. Please have them charged the night before so that when they get to school, they're ready to use. If you have any concerns or questions with technology, please call our office and we would be happy to help you with those. Again, if you have any question about anything that I've said today or concern, please feel free to call me at the school, email me, or set up a virtual meeting via Google Meet with me. My email is hughesj@wcde.org, or you can call the school 850-8550. Thank you so much for your time today, and I'm really excited about the school year with your child. We're so excited to have them. This school year may look different, but please know that we are going to love your child. We're going to ensure that they have a quality education, and we hope to partner with you in your child's education. If you have any questions or concerns, again, please reach out. Thank you for your time.